Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me for this brief update around essentially how financing is finally enabling landlords to tackle minimum energy efficiency standards. There's been quite a few sort of announcements over June, particularly as the Renters' Rights Act is now in force from May. So the next big challenge is around minimum energy efficiency standards. So I'm just going to do a brief update on just recapping where we are with minimum energy efficiency standards, and then focusing down on some of the financing offers that are coming out. So first, I just want to highlight this graph of doom I always pull up. Essentially, we've modeled this uptake of minimum energy efficiency standards based on our previous historical data on compliance regimens of a similar nature. And what we found is people always wait to the last minute. The key thing with minimum energy efficiency standards, though, is it potentially could be a lot of work that a landlord needs to do. So you can't just, address it in the last month or two. There needs to be, awareness for landlords to actually shift that earlier on. And there's a number of benefits to actually acting sooner rather than later on complying with this. And just to sort of highlight, we need to do over 2,200 a day from now until the deadline in order to get everyone complied. But currently we're doing under 500 a day. So we need to over quadruple the amount of output that we need to retrofit. But the good news is there is a lot more certainty to act now for landlords. So the deadline has been confirmed for October, 1st of October 2030. Crucially, any costs can be counted from the 1st of October 2025. So if they spent anything on energy efficiency improvements from there, they really need to keep their receipts to make sure that they can prove that they've complied. Another interesting one is around the grandfathering rule for EPCs. So currently there will be a new methodology with new metrics and potentially stricter. So it could have cost potentially landlords more to comply under a new methodology coming out in the Q3 or 4 in 2027. That's called the home energy model. But this grandfathering rule means if you're compliant with an old EPC under the current SAP, standard assessment process methodology, you'll still be compliant for another 10 years from the date of that EPC. I believe it's by the 1st of October 2029. It's been confirmed that there is a £10,000 property cap. It was expected to go up to 15,000, so there's a little bit of relief there. And there's also some exemptions as well. So if it's the value of the property is below 100,000, it will taper off. It'll be only 10% of the property value. And there are some insulation exemptions, so solid wall, for example. So actually, there is a bit of flexibility within the scheme. But what about, I think, financial support is the next big hurdle. So a lot of the other uncertainty is now moving away. The key questions for landlords is now sort of how and when do we do this work? So just on the finance piece, there has been actually quite a lot of patchwork financial support for landlords. So particularly in terms of grant funding, it's mostly targeted at low income. There's been some national grants, so like Eco4, that's now winding up. The Great British Insulation Scheme, Boiler Upgrade Scheme, called BUS, and there's also been a number of regional grants. So, for example, the Greater Manchester Combined Authority, the West of England Combined Authority, etc. But again, mostly targeting low-income households. So there'll be quite a swathe of landlords not covered that could benefit from this. One of the leaders, really, I think, has been Scotland. So they have a loan, private rented sector loan for landlords, where individually each property they could borrow up to £38,500 per property at 0% interest. And if they've got 1 to 5 property portfolio, they can borrow up to a total of 100,000 interest free. So that's like a really strong offer there. And if they've got a larger portfolio, it's £250,000 that they could borrow, but there's an interest rate of around 3.5%. So still quite good interest rate in today's environment. So I think they've been leading, but again, that's Scotland, not the England and Wales, which has quite a lot of rented accommodation in. Again, sort of like there's some regional sort of funding available as well. So Lendology, I just want to give a shout out to those because they partner with certain local authorities. Again, it's not a national thing, but certain local authorities essentially help subsidise the lending. So they have an offer around £20,000 for landlords with a 4% interest rate. So competitive still, but again, it's very localised. One thing which we launched recently with the Mortgage Works is a new product around that for their current borrowers around energy efficiency further advanced. So if they've got a lending with TMW, they're able to access up to £15,000 at quite a significantly reduced rates, about 2.99%, so under 3%. And I believe that's up to 5 years. So we're starting to now to see the market shift and to offer sort of national lending to support landlords. And we're the preferred partner on this scheme, and we do offer through Nationwide free in-home assessments, MEES reports, to get compliant, and we will guarantee compliance or getting to a C if you then do the works via ourselves. So I think this is quite a strong offer, and it's one of the first in the market to do this. But there's also a number of other activities. So the UK government last week announced that they're doing a first phase of a warm homes home improvement loans. This is where they will essentially back 20% of the loan with a grant. So they're looking to reduce those interest rates by up to 5 percentage points. So the key thing here is that those loans will be available over 3 to 10 years, so quite significant timescales. But crucially, paid after installation has been verified. So you need to make sure you've got verified installers there, through MCS, the micro generation scheme. And crucially, the government does not underwrite loan defaults, so the lenders will still need to do their own due diligence and credit checks, etc. It is a first come first served basis, so if you're a lender or no lenders, you definitely need to sort of get in there as soon as possible. And it will be open to customers that are owner occupiers, but also crucially private landlords. It will be for landlords on a personal lending basis though, so again, there might be a gap here around landlords that are operating through a private company, which is obviously increasing over the last few years. It's quite generous, so there's no income thresholds, there's no minimum EPC requirements, and actually there's no property age restrictions either, so it's fairly generous there. But it doesn't include things like insulation, windows, doors, roofing, and general energy efficiency improvements. So there will be a lot of landlords which might be able to get compliant under £1,500, under £2,000. And that might just need loft insulation and a few other sort of general energy efficiency improvements, for example, which this won't cover. So there's still a number of gaps, but again, the direction of travel is quite clear here. Thank you very much, and appreciate your time. Like I said, just a quick update on the financials, financial support that's coming out. If you do want to get in contact with us, discuss more how we can support, or if you just want some more information on certain schemes like the warm homes home improvement loans, just get in contact, reach out. Brilliant. Thanks very much.